Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is our 14th episode. This is a show for the fans.
By the fans.
Oh, yeah. Today we have a very interesting episode because we have a very interesting guest. We have an Evertonian from Malaysia. Yeah, let's welcome Abhinath on the show. Hi, Abhinath. How are you feeling?
Hi, I'm doing good. Great to be on.
Great. Very
Good
happy to have
on, man.
you. Yeah, very happy to have you because we do have a Merseyside sort of a thing going on here in the Plot Malaysia. I am super excited because an Everton fan is going to go on head to head with Harry on Liverpool, who's a Liverpool fan. So yeah,
Ram.
man, Abhinath.
Ram, just as I welcome Abhinath to the show, welcome, bro. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. But just as I welcome Abhinath to the show, let's get the Merseyside battle started,
Okay.
There's a famous saying, right? There are two teams that play on Merseyside.
I've heard this one before.
You've heard this one? Liverpool
Yeah.
Football Club and Liverpool Reserves, bro. Everyone else doesn't count.
I've heard that one before.
Abhinath, just to let you know, I may be a Man United fan, but I'm on your side today, okay? So
Don't worry, everyone's against the Liverpool fan. I mean, I may not like Man U fans, but then next to a Liverpool fan, I kind of really like Man U fans,
Oh, yeah. That's the way. I have support today, yes.
I don't like either, so I'm an outcast on the show, man.
Yeah.
It's good to have you on, man.
Fantastic. Once again,
Good to be
Abhinath,
on.
very good to have you on. Really happy to have an Everton fan on the show for the first time, on the Plot Malaysia. But, there are a few burning questions that we have and we want to ask you. So I'm going to kick it off right away, Harry. Is that okay?
Yes,
I'm going to
let's
kick it
get it
off right
started.
away. So the first
Yep.
question I'm going to ask you, Abhinath, is we all want to know, everybody wants to know this, and the whole Malaysia, I think, wants to know this. How did you become, an Everton fan, and when? Tell us.
How did you join the club
I-
of 5 people, basically, yeah, in Malaysia?
Yeah, I still had to sit down and watch a game with a few other fellas or so. Max I can find is one. Yeah.
So tell us,
I mean,
Abhinath.
yeah, so I mean, I've been watching football and playing football for ever since I was a kid. My brothers and all grew up footballing family. So, but one thing, I started supporting Everton actually for a long time. Like even when like Rooney was there, Thomas Ranzinski, and all that. When I was a little kid, because like everybody else was just supporting like Man U, Liverpool, all the good teams. But like I used to watch Everton, and like back then, before they started spending a lot of money, they were like playing. The chemistry was good, and you didn't need to spend a lot of money to get like some foreign like superstar, and they were still like competing, playing well. I know and Rooney was up and coming that time. This time was when he was there, so I was like, you know what, this is a nice club to follow. I like what it's about. I really enjoyed the chemistry back then, but now it's all over the place. We're spending a lot of money, chemistry is not there, and we're not even winning.
Oh,
Interesting,
okay.
man. Interesting, man. So
Very
what
glad to
made
know.
you become that Everton fan? Was it the Rooney factor? Watching him score the first goal against Arsenal, or?
I mean, that was
what a
good.
goal.
Also, he definitely helped. Yeah, and that goal was really good. What an introduction. But I would say mainly, I think I just fell in love with the chemistry because how they played the game. Like they weren't really great players, but then the way they passed the ball, the way they as a team, how they performed. I really liked it compared to like looking at other teams where it's just you bring that one star player and then everybody just feeds him the ball.
Interesting, man. Actually, Everton, I must say this, even though they're a rival club. This season is crap. There are no fans in the stadium. But in terms of atmosphere, their stadium has one of the best atmospheres in England, apart from Liverpool and some of the bigger clubs. But Everton has got a fantastic atmosphere, man. Goodison Park can be quite intimidating for teams, from what I heard. So, yeah. But they can get on their own team's back a lot as well, yeah.
Yeah. That's why this season with no fans, Everton's home record has been awful. It's like really like the reason why we're not doing so well is because we lose more at home than we do away. Our away form is actually pretty good, but at home, because there's no fans anymore, the players just not turning up. They don't have the support and the backing, and they don't play with the same confidence. Like when we're playing against teams like Crystal Palace and Fulham, Burnley, and all. Like at home, like we're still giving them the ball and inviting all this pressure and everything like that. We don't want to win the game.
I understand. But I want to thank Everton, though. Thank Everton for Wayne Rooney. Because of that, he became our legend. So thank you very much, Everton, on that.
What a thing.
Harry, you want
I
to ask the
mean,
next one?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, good to know how you became the Everton fan. Tell us a bit about yesterday, man. So, I mean, last night Everton played Tottenham. What do you think of the game, bro? How did it go? What are your thoughts on the game? Did you catch the game or any highlights?
yeah, I caught like the second half, but then I was on
Mm-hmm.
highlights and stuff like that.
Yep.
But honestly, we actually, in an attacking sense, I was actually really impressed because compared to like the last few weeks when we were playing with Crystal Palace, Burnley, Fulham, like we were just not really trying to score an attack. We actually created a lot of chances, but then somehow like lately it's just a goal scoring slump. Like it's difficult for like Richarlison to score, like Calvert Lewin is, the chances are there, but they're just not trying to create goals, and that's one thing. James has been performing like really well, like whenever he has the, I'm like, okay, at least we're trying to score now, so he's making a good pass, but then the players, they weren't converting yesterday, so I feel like we should have actually had that game, and then two defensive mistakes. I don't know what clown show is going on in the center backs or both, like after the first one I was like, okay, and then like they can do the same thing again. I was like, come on, we should have won that game, like two silly mistakes, and then
It was too easy for Harry Kane, though. Both occasions.
yeah, it was too easy. The first finish
goals.
was solid,
Actually,
But
even
then-
the second one was brilliant. I mean, but I
Yeah.
mean, I was going to ask you this, but you brought it up. The defending was calamity. I mean, it was
was
not just one, there was
horrible.
two of the same mistakes,
Two. Yeah,
And they
and the
just-
two
they
same
just-
fellas,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
the
yeah.
two same fellas.
Yeah.
I don't know what is
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on here.
But I mean, fair
my
point, lah. I
God.
mean, I watched the highlights as well, and you're right, lah. I think Ancelotti changed the system or something yesterday. The formation seemed a bit different, but they were creating a lot of chances because I think Sigurdsson and James were
Yeah,
playing
he
very
had
well
a
together.
great
Yeah,
game. Usually Sigurdsson, like lately, has not been as like justified the price tag when he came in. But then like under Ancelotti, he's actually like tried to work hard, and like yesterday was one of his best games. I've like never seen Sigurdsson perform as good yesterday than I've seen him in a long time. Usually he's just trying but never getting there. But yesterday, he was in the game. He was getting involved. He was making passes. He had a beautiful finish. He converted the penalty. I was impressed with him.
yeah. I thought the combination
goal
play
was-
between him and James was brilliant, lah. They seemed to
Yeah,
be
I agree with
combining
that.
very well. Yeah.
Yeah, and his finishing for the second goal was also quite nice, though.
Yeah.
The way he took it very calmly and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But staying with Sigurdsson, right? I always felt that against big games, big teams that he used to play, he's always performing at the highest level when he plays against big teams. But when he plays against those mid-table, bottom teams, I don't see him really doing really well. Am I right to say that?
Actually, man, yesterday's game was honestly like the first game I think since like 2018 or 19 which I've seen him perform actually really well. Like against big teams also, he's just never been that. He's not up to par lately, but yesterday was he was really well. He exceeded expectations. He played to what we thought he could play, to his ability. But like all the other games before that, you don't really see him do much. He tries to get the game, he tries to create, he can't really make forward passes, he's not really dictating. And like sometimes they play him out of position too, they play him towards the right, and then his pace is just not enough, especially when playing defense. He doesn't track back, he's not that good, and then he just commits too many fouls, because he's a bit too slow. Today he played very well.
So who do you think were the key players for you yesterday? Was it Gylfi or James?
Yeah, definitely Sigurdsson, James was there, and I think Alan did really well as well. But besides that, I mean, Coleman, he just came in, did the job, just came out in a sub, and then he just assisted the goal. So that was really good. That's one thing we do lack, which I feel like going forward, Everton does need to get a good supply of like wing backs, because any good team, they need a rotation. You can't just be playing the same guys every week, then they'll get injured, and then boom, how are we going to score all of a sudden,
Yeah.
Like Liverpool's problem so lately because of the rotation,
We don't have any defenders, bro.
Yeah, that's
We
what I
don't
say.
have
I mean, like Everton also is the same. I mean, the Everton also is the same, Like, Coleman is like, he's almost towards the end of his career. We got to get somebody to replace him already, at least someone to fight and contend.
Before Ram goes on to the next question, one very quick question here, because I think one of the great things that Ancelotti did in the summer was he signed 3 midfielders that changed the way you play. I thought 3 really good midfielders actually. Alan, Dokore, and there was one more as well. Who am I missing out? Who was playing midfield? Andre Gomez was playing. He was old signing.
Andre Gomez was there before he came.
But he was playing with the 3 of them were playing very well together. But I think at various points this season, all three have been injured for a long period of
Yeah,
time.
that's another problem. That's why the rotation, one gets injured, boom, you're screwed. So like, and you can only get so far with Tom Davies and Sigurdsson in the middle, you don't have Corey, you don't have, James every time. And I feel like every game James plays, he has to sit out the next 3 games, like that's quite
I think
tough,
Alan the
like,
same. He's been injured for long as well, right?
Yeah, he's been on and off already. He's coming, and we actually about a few seasons ago we bought when Gay left to PSG.
Yeah.
We actually bought we signed this guy called Gabamin, and then he played like 1 game and then got injured, and then like he played like less than 5 games, but slowly he's coming back. Like he was supposed to be that center midfielder as well, but he's just got injured for like 2 years already.
Wow, never heard of him, man, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I see the fact that you haven't even heard of him.
Yeah.
And he came from some German league team. I'm not too sure. Yeah, but he was supposed to be the replacement. For Gay. Gay is a really good center midfielder. Box to box.
Yep.
Couldn't replace that. And you can't put Tom Davies in that role. You can't put Sigurdsson in that role. Sigurdsson is not really that good defensively as well. He's very slow to get the tackles in, and Tom just commits too many mistakes. He doesn't have the experience. He just gives the ball away.
And so you're overall satisfied with the point?
No, because should have won. It was just 2 stupid mistakes. Yeah. So like that's like somehow this season, like against the good teams, we are actually really trying to play well. I see them playing good attacking football, but then sometimes the points, doesn't always go our way. Compared to like I would see them play like this against all the Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, all these teams, Burnley, but they don't. Like when we're playing against these teams, like we make them suddenly look like Champions League teams, and suddenly they're the one.
Good point there, Abhinath. Good point. Very, very interesting sharing.
Because that's the reason why we're not going to get into Europe this year.
I'm sure Ram was going to ask you that right now, man.
Yeah. You answered. You took the words out of my mouth, man.
Yeah, because it just flowed through like that, Yeah. So you can't get into Europe if you're drawing with Brighton, you're losing to Burnley. You give the ball away and then let Crystal Palace score in the 85th minute and then you give out 2 points. You obviously you don't want to play in Europe. If you're doing this, especially at home stadium. And we're doing this.
So you're saying that there's no hope for you to be in top 4. Is that what you're saying?
Top 4 definitely not.
So because you answered that question, right? What's your prediction on where Everton's going to finish? And who's your player of the season so far?
Player of the season so far for Everton. James has played very well, but the thing is, James doesn't play that many games. He comes in, but like when he plays, I feel like he's the best player on our team. He's been. But besides that, Calvert-Lewin, before he got injured and kind of like struggled, he was very good. Very good in the air, converting. Last season was Richarlison, but lately he's been struggling to find the goal. And he looks frustrated guy playing every time I see Richarlison play. But this season probably Alan is good when he plays also, but then these guys, like I said, it's all his injury concerns and problems, So this season probably James, but he doesn't much.
So James, it shows James, and
there's a small pool to pick. There's not that many good players in Everton.
And where do you think Everton will finish this season, Abhinath?
So hopefully this is what I've been looking at lately. Because if you guys haven't realized, there's still the FA Cup and League Cup to play. So like. Those are supposed to be Europa League spots, So, obviously we can't get into Champions League, but I am trying to think of Europa League. So if like Man City wins the FA Cup or the League Cup, then the 6th and 7th places can go to Europa League.
Yep.
We can at least contend for that. Maybe go get ahead of Tottenham, maybe get ahead of Liverpool. But then, like I said, it's really hard. But ideally maybe 6th, but realistically, I would be happy if we even stay at 8th. I think we could even go down, but 6th or 7th,
Okay.
It's good, bro. At least now you're accepting the fact that you're going to be below Liverpool, It's none of that.
6th means we could be possibly above Liverpool.
It's none of that early season jibes, the Everton fan.
It's the injuries, the same thing that Liverpool has been saying the whole time. Oh, injuries. Yeah. Like all of a sudden, Liverpool fans think injuries only happen to Liverpool, Like all of a sudden, Liverpool fans are like, oh my God, injuries. Like what happened every season for every other team, Liverpool also been doing well.
Hari, I've got to give it to you, man. That was a very brilliant way of putting in that debate into that, man. Well done. That was quite interesting, actually.
But there's still chance, there's still chance. There's a few games left, If Everton perform and try to win and like really want to go for the games, they could go above Liverpool, but then like I said, Liverpool is now back on form. They've got their mind right, and Everton is obviously lost the mind already, trying to score. So
I guess one of your takeaways to the season, Abhinath, is that you guys beat Liverpool, and what a game that was! Hurry, back to you.
Man, tell me something, dude. What are your thoughts on Everton's future? So moving forward, right? Okay, you've got a bit of a base now. You've got, I think, one of the best managers in the world football. I don't know how you got him,
Definitely.
but you got him, Ancelotti. So what does the future hold for Everton, man? I obviously see that you guys I think you're going to set up heading for a new stadium now under the new owners.
Yeah.
What does that look like? And also let us know what do you think of any areas for you to strengthen? Where do you see Everton strengthening, or where do you think they need to strengthen in the team moving into next season? And who would you like them to sign?
Yeah. So we have got a new stadium. So like that one looks really cool. I saw the blueprints and all. Apparently, it just got approved. Like it's by the dock. It's going to be nice. I mean, like Goodison Park has been really great and all that, but like you want to take the club forward, take it future. This is a good idea and it's a good step. It's like saying like, hey, we want to compete, we want to be a big team, we want to be a global team. To approach a global market. The same way that Liverpool had fans all over the world, Man U has fans all over the world. You don't really see from Everton, but then now like the names are coming up in media. We got Ancelotti, like you said, a really great manager. So like that's one thing I really like is how like the Everton, they want to win. They're not like playing where we just want to be in the Premier League. Now we want success now,
Yeah.
So like moving forward with Everton's future, I'm actually pretty hopeful. Our squad is not up to where we want. Like our expectations are here, and the squad is only, and then like if they're not consistent, sometimes they're even down there below, So moving forward, I can like personally, I'm like, you can drop half of the team, like these guys, you're not gonna win with half the team. You're not gonna win. Like no offense to like Tom Davies, Holgate. Holgate was amazing last season, but then he got injured, and this season, I don't know, he's just clowning around, and then Iwobi, who pays 30 million for Iwobi? I have no idea why we did that. Like this still doesn't make any sense to this day. Like he's that wild card. Suddenly I see him running around, and I'm like, okay, what's next? Cross the and maybe
no end product, man. It will be always
there's no
end
product.
But some Arsenal fans are quite upset that they sold Iwobi though. So
yeah, but they got him for 30 million. I'm sure they're not upset after that.
Yeah.
Like for 30 million, dude. Even in this inflated price market, I don't understand. It was a panic buy towards the end of the season. They were like, oh, we need to get a different squad, so bring in Iwobi. Yeah, towards the future, I would say we need to definitely add a lot more depth. We had that center midfielder depth which we brought in from last season, but then like you said, the injury suddenly, then we got no more depth already. And then like I said, we need to definitely, like as you saw from yesterday's game, we need to get actual center backs, who winning center backs, And there's been like rumors about Koulibaly and all that. I don't know how we're gonna persuade him to come, but it would be a dream to see him come and play for Everton. That shows that we really want to compete. Because obviously we need help in the defense, and then maybe another proven striker, to compete with. At least Kevin Lewin has been doing really great this time, but sometimes you want that touch of class, that consistency, that big game player, and you need a big name for that, So I'm not sure who we probably linked with, but then I would welcome anyone at this point, but just not some random guy who suddenly come in the Premier League and then like score one goal and disappear after that.
Fair enough, lah. So you're basically saying a defender priority, a centre back. If you can get Koulibaly, of course, brilliant, and then up front, lah, a striker, lah.
Yeah.
Anyone, if you had all the money in the world, actually, you guys have a lot of money, and if you could attract anyone, who would you want as your striker? Give us one name, quick fire.
Give us a name.
Quick fire. Let's see. Actually, I can't really think of anyone right now because, like, realistically speaking, like, no one's for sale and like everything for as.
No, as I say, forget realism here. Forget realism here. If you could pull out, if just being optimistic, lah, who would you want?
Yeah. Maybe, hey man, Aguero is leaving Man City. Maybe he might come.
That's actually realistic. That's actually realistic.
Yeah, that's quite realistic. Maybe he might want to team up with Ancelotti, and see what he can do. So I would like, that experience, that winning mentality, he knows how to win. That it would be nice to see him playing and affect the locker room as well, because he's won the Premier League, he's won in England a bunch of years, so he can help instill the winning mentality in the rest of the squad. It'll be nice to see.
Great,
Awesome, man.
great,
Awesome,
great.
awesome.
Very, very, very awesome.
Cool, bro.
So, guys out there, watching the show, before we move into the rapid fire round, please leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think. And if you are an Everton fan, just like Abhinath, you want to pitch in and tell us, what you think, please let us know. We are excited about it. Right, Harry?
And if you're a Liverpool fan, if you want to kutok him, you can also lah. Drop in your comments. All right, man. Ram, let's get it.
He's gonna say that, man.
Let's get into the exciting stuff, man. The rapid fire
yes,
round. Ram.
Yes. So
All right, we're gonna put you a bit on the spot. We want really quick fire answers. No overthinking.
I'll try my best. Yeah.
Quick answers. Yep.
Quick answers. And the first thing that comes to your mind, Abhinath, that's how you gotta play this game, okay? So guys, we are moving into the rapid fire round, okay? So we're gonna ask you 4 to 5 questions, alternating between myself and Hari, and whatever questions we ask you, just go right ahead and answer it, okay? All right. So I'm gonna start on with the first one. Okay, Joe Royal, David Moyes, and Ancelotti. Rank them.
Ancelotti, Moyes, and then Royce.
Oh, interesting. So you've got Ancelotti above Moyes, even though he was there for a long time, brought you guys a lot of success and all.
I mean, because like the mentality is different,
Yep.
Mhm.
and with David Moyes, he was really good with what he had, but he like now we want to win. Moyes never. He was just like, all right, let's do better every year.
Yeah.
But then Ancelotti, now we want to win, and hopefully next year we're going to win at least.
Awesome.
So
man.
I'm really hopeful.
Very, very interesting.
Awesome.
All right,
Awesome.
second one.
Hurry, your turn.
Yes. Your all-time favorite. Give us your all-time favorite Everton player.
Yeah.
Ooh, my all-time probably Leighton Baines.
Leighton Baines.
Good
I
choice,
remember
man.
that guy. Free
Great-
kick
great
taker,
great
back.
left
Yeah,
foot,
I was
yeah.
like, no, this guy, like when he scored
Oh.
2 free kicks in that one game, I was like, yo, man, this guy is crazy, man. Those far range
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
I'm just glad you didn't say Marwan Fellaini lah.
Because he was a good
He would
servant
have-
as well, with Leighton Baines, he played well and he played, and
Okay,
he,
it's good. It's good. Good choice, man. Good choice. I got to give you that. So moving on, I'm going to ask you the third question, Abhinath.
It's an interesting
If
one.
you could bring back one African ex-Everton player, okay, who would it be? Amokachi, Yakubu, Joseph, Yobo, Steven Pina. Out of this, anyone?
I mean, right now, it would be nice to see like a prime Yakubu playing for Everton as well, because, we could use that goal scoring prowess, because, I mean, we didn't really have that many talented strikers, but I did like when Yakubu was there. He was the first one who can at least score 10 goals a season. Like back then, it was a big feat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, man.
I mean,
Yakubu
obviously,
in his
like,
prime was really good, like
Yeah,
Yakubu
he was a
reminds me
powerhouse.
of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank kind of guy, that strong muscle man, that could really take on players and score lots of goals. So good choice, man. Yakubu.
Yeah, actually, Joseph Yobo also was a great player for Everton, lah. I think
Yeah,
one of
he's
the-
he's a really good, solid
man. Yeah.
defender. Yeah, very solid.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right, man. The last question. Beautiful question. All right. Tell me your best Merseyside derby of all time, or your favorite Merseyside derby of all time.
I mean, it has to be the last one, lah.
Yeah, lah.
Even though it was like no fans in the stadium, but it was a good win. It's finally nice. Liverpool to just like to knock them off their perch as well. Reigning Premier League champions can't beat Everton at home. So like, that was quite nice.
You know what?
That was amazing.
You know what's my favorite Merseyside derby of all time? I mean, we've had a
Which
lot,
one?
lah. I mean, you don't have much to choose from. We've had a lot, right? So we've won
Oh my
like
God.
4-0. We've won 4-0, 3-0. We had a hat trick from Gerrard, etc.
Harry.
But my favorite actually was not one of those big wins. It was actually a very close game that we played in Goodison Park under Houllier, Houlier's time in Goodison Park. It finished 3-2. It finished 3-2.
yeah.
Liverpool had a player sent off. They missed the penalty. It was 2-2. And then in stoppage time, Gary McAllister scored a wonder free kick to win
I
the game.
remember that. I
Oh,
remember that. Yeah,
I
Beautiful
might
game.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the one
Yeah,
that,
but-
because, yeah.
But I'm glad to say one thing, Abhinath, you're living in the present. Hurry, you're living in the past.
I mean, Liverpool can live in the present too. I'm just hopeful now for Everton. Like this is the best time to be an Everton fan. Like lately, it's just hasn't been going well. But if there's hope, it's hope now. There wasn't hope 5 years ago. There wasn't hope 4, 5, 10 years ago. But now the most hope ever is just now.
Wait till a big club picks up Ancelotti, like, then the hope will disappear again.
Oh.
I mean, he's been in the big club, really, like, you know. He's been in the big club. He's won it all, you know. So and then he's making money in Everton, you know. So I mean, hopefully he has to persuade big names to come to Everton as well, you know. And then slowly
Let me ask you one final question before we sort of sign off for the show, you know. One quick one, just top of my head. Again, I'm just adding something in a rapid fire on the top of my head, you know. Calvert-Lewin, you familiar with Kevin Campbell as well? Calvert-Lewin, Kevin Campbell, or Duncan Ferguson? Your favorite of the three?
Oh man.
I mean, Duncan Ferguson, he was really impactful, but he wasn't prolific, you know. He really get in the game, you know, like, you know, especially in like big games as well, you know. But I mean, he's won as well. Kevin Campbell was really solid striker. I mean, and you can't really judge Calvert-Lewin too much, you know. He just only had his breakout season this year. But I mean, probably I'd pick Duncan Ferguson. And
Big Dunkler. I thought you were going to go with Big Dunkler. I used to
I
hate
knew
playing
it as
Everton
well.
with him. Yeah. He used to be really in the face of that guy.
Yep. Wow. What a nice rapid fire round, guys. You know, I think I really enjoyed that one. Watching the two of you go head to head, and of course, you know, Hari, you know, sharing his side of you know, the story as well. Fantastic. So, Hari, what's next, man? What's going to happen?
Listen, before we sort of sign off for the show, guys, I just want to say, I mean, leave your comments. I mean, it's fantastic having Abhinath on the show, an Everton fan on our show as well. So leave your comments, subscribe to the channel as well. Yeah, glad to have you here. Guys, I mean, we've got some really interesting content coming up moving forward as well. I mean, there's going to be a video at the end of the show, a bit of a trailer on what's coming up next week. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, a guest from abroad, which will be really interesting. But yeah, I mean, before we sign off, before we say bye to Abhinath for the show, Abhinath, you know, we're giving you a moment, man. Sing a chant, give us a chant or something. Anthem or chant of Everton, man. I'm giving you an opportunity here, bro.
Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
I mean, I don't really want to sing a chant, but I mean, it's a grand old team to play for, you know. So it's nice, you know. That's a nice, you know. It's a grand old team to support.
Interesting. Just remember, man. Just remember, man. In this case, I'll say you'll always walk alone.
For now, you know, it's becoming, Everton is coming up there, you know. They're coming up there.
We're looking forward to the battle ahead, man.
It'd be good to see Everton go above Liverpool anytime. Cheers.
They were in like 2014, I think a few times we went above Liverpool, a few times, you know.
Yeah, I think under Moyes, he did get above Liverpool, I think, around that time.
Yeah, and I think like in 2014 as well, or like 2013, 2014, I think we went above Liverpool as well one year.
Cool, man. Listen, great having you on the show.
So,
Ram, you want to sign off, man?
All right. Once again,
thanks for having me.
Once again, Abhinath, thank you so much for joining us. We would love to have you back on in the future for some reviews. Hopefully, another Merseyside derby. You know, we can have you in for next season. So right now, you know, signing off from the plot. You know, this is the show for the fans.
By the fans. Come on, guys. Yeah.
Cheers,
guys. Cheers, Abhinath.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ram.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Hi guys, this is Coach Akash. See you next week on The Plot Malaysia. See you.